Senior goalkeeper Paul Christensen is moving on up to Major League Soccer. Men's basketball collects a huge road sweep, and the men's tennis team opens the 2018 campaign and their defense of the WCC title. These stories and more are coming up on Portside with the Pilots right now. Welcome to Portside with the Pilots. I'm Adam Lindman. Men's basketball went on the road last week and picked up two key wins, first winning at San Diego before heading up the road to defeat LMU. Against the Toreros, the Pilots led for all but 2 minutes and used stingy defense to pull out the 55-49 victory. Despite leading for most of the night, the Pilots needed a late clutch hoop from Tahiro Diabate to help secure the win. Josh McSwiggan led the way with 17 points, and the Pilots held San Diego to just 38% shooting. The Pilots then completed the road sweep with a 72-65 win at LMU on Saturday night. Sophomore guard Franklin Porter led 4 Pilots in double figures with 16 points off the bench. Senior center Philip Hartwich was a force at both ends of the court, finishing with 8 points, 8 rebounds, matched a career high with 6 blocks, and he dished out a career best 4 assists. Hartwich also set the program's single-season block shots record as he now has 58 on the year. The victory gave Portland its first WCC road sweep in 2 years.
To not only just win a game, but to win 2 on the road, I think makes the guys feel like, you know what, we are who we thought we are. We're getting better. They're understanding the game planning. We're seeing carryover from practices to games, from film sessions to games. And I felt we were really poised. And, San Diego's a really good team, 13-5 at the time. We held them to 49 points on their home floor, and then we held LMU to 37% from the field. And good teams win on the road by defending, and we're starting to show that. Our whole goal the whole time was to try to play the best basketball as we can in February going into March and have a chance on a neutral floor and see what happens. And we're headed in that direction. So it was a good step, and now we need to see if we can compete with Gonzaga and St. Mary's.
Phil Hartwich already owned the career blocks record for the Pilots, which he set earlier this year, and now he can claim the season block record as well. His 9 blocks total last weekend gave him 58 this winter, good enough to pass former record holder Tim Frost. Hartwich also leads the conference in blocks, and he ranks 18th nationally. It's a challenging week for the Pilots as they'll face not 1 but 2 ranked teams, hosting number 15 Gonzaga tonight before traveling to number 16 St. Mary's on Saturday. The game with the Zags tips off in just about 2 hours, and there are still tickets available, so head to the Chow Center now to cheer on the Pilots. It's also Coaches versus Cancer Suit and Sneakers Week, and the Pilots began their 3-point challenge as well. By visiting portlandpilots.com/challenge, fans can support the initiative by pledging a donation for every 3-point shot the Pilots make. After a stellar 4-year career on the Bluff, men's soccer goalkeeper Paul Christensen is moving on as the Atlanta United drafted the netminder in the 4th round of Major League Soccer's Super Draft. Christensen ended his career 5th all-time at Portland in both shutouts and saves. The 4-year starter and 2-time reigning WCC Goalkeeper of the Year is the 2nd Pilot to head to the pros this month after Chris Reeves signed a homegrown contract with FC Dallas. We'll have much more on Paul the Wall later in the show. The Portland volleyball team has a new head coach as Jeff Baxter has assumed the reins of the program. It was announced yesterday. Baxter was previously an assistant coach for 2 years under Brent Crouch, who accepted the head coaching position at perennial power USC earlier this month. Baxter and Crouch were responsible for the best stretch in program history, which included a historical 2016 when the Pilots set numerous records and reached several milestones. We'll have much more on the hire and hear from Coach Baxter on next week's episode of Portside of the Pilots. Baseball alum Austin Bibbins-Dirks made history this year as a standout 32-year-old rookie pitcher for the Texas Rangers. And the righty was just named the Rangers Rookie of the Year. The native of Kaiser, Oregon made 24 appearances and 6 starts for Texas, going 5-2 overall. He registered impressive wins over Max Scherzer in Washington, and he won at Yankee Stadium. Last weekend, he was swatting shots all over Southern California, and this week he's on our set for a one-on-one chat. Philip Hartwich joins us on Portside of the Pilots after the break. Welcome back. We're joined now by men's basketball senior center Philip Hartwich. Phil, thanks for joining us. First of all, congrats. You set the career blocks record back in mid-December. You shattered the single-season blocks record last Saturday with 6 blocks down at LMU. Were these records that you had your eyes on at the beginning of the year?
Actually, further than that. Freshman year, starting out, I knew I was a good shot blocker coming out of high school, and I thought I could get the record someday, and because Thomas was right there with me, I thought I had to beat him, and yeah, thankfully I did.
Your role has grown so much over the past 2 years. You're enjoying your best season yet on the Bluff. What has been the biggest factor so far for your breakthrough season?
For me, it was confidence. You know, I really didn't have a whole lot of that the first 2 years here, and then kind of knowing what I can do and what I can bring to the team really helped me a lot, and gaining that confidence of what I can do in a game, and so it's just playing with a whole lot of confidence makes everything easy.
And it seems like you and Coach Porter have a fun relationship. You don't mind poking a little fun with each other. How has he been to play for?
Just great, actually. You know, even though he's a guard, he has a lot of good pointers for big guys, and even though I'm kind of an older player, he still has to teach me way more than I would like to admit. But yeah, so it's been great playing for him.
One of the things I hear the coach likes to bring up is your history of playing some other sports, cycling, team handball, etc. Tell us about some of your non-basketball skills in the sports you've played.
You know, I just basically did everything else but play basketball, and I mean, I kind of regret it a little bit, but it's also nice to have a little bit more of a background, and you know, I'm more seasoned in different aspects of athletic life.
So cycling, did they have to make like a specially designed bike for you?
I did that before I crossed 6'6", so it wasn't too bad, yeah.
Very nice. Graduation, I hate to bring it up, but it's quickly approaching.
Yeah.
Do you have any post-grad plans? I'm sure you want to keep playing.
Well, I'm a journalism major, so after my basketball career, I want to go into broadcasting, probably. For right now, I just hope to play basketball for as long as I can, and you know, avoid a 9-to-5 job. So if I can play basketball for a long time, I'll be happy.
You looking anywhere in particular, maybe Europe to play?
Yeah. I think the German nationality will help me with that, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Very nice. Came to the Bluff from Germany, obviously. How hard was the transition coming from there to Portland?
You know, not a whole lot, because Cologne is very, very similar to Portland, and I got to give a shout out there to my friend DeMarcus Tyson, who stuck with me the whole 4 years. I don't know how he did that, but he helped me out a lot early on, and just showed me what music to listen to, not to dance because it was horrible, and yeah, he helped me.
Now, have you introduced him to German music?
I have not, no. I would never do that. That's horrible.
No David Hasselhoff?
No.
All right. I hear you have a younger brother. Recently relocated to the Pacific Northwest. Talk about how it is having family close by, and I hear he's a pretty good baller. What are his skills like?
Well, he's still raw. He's 15. He's also 6'7", so he might be as tall as me someday, hopefully. It's just nice because he was able to come to a couple of games, and he wasn't all the 3 years before that. It's great having him so close and being able to share some time with him, sharing this love for basketball it's been tremendous.
One-on-one, who wins? You or your brother?
Oh, easily me. Come on. That's not even close.
So have you been able to teach him some things? He is, like you said, raw.
Yeah. Not really. I mean, some of it, but he likes to be more of a shooter, you know, like Dirk Nowitzki type of guy, and that's not really me. So I'm gonna just let him do his thing. I don't want to be too influenced, too involved in his basketball development.
And Dirk Nowitzki, that reminds me of another question. Who is your favorite basketball player? Is it Dirk?
Well, I have to go with Dirk, but I like Hakeem Olajuwon a lot. Alonzo Mourning, some guys that play with a tremendous passion for the game. That's just inspired me, and so those are my go-to guys.
So you guys are coming off a couple of huge road wins.
Yes.
2 big games this week. Hosting first Gonzaga Thursday, then going down to St. Mary's on Saturday. Both ranked opponents. What are you expecting this week?
I mean, we're just going to play our heart out. We didn't really do that in Gonzaga, so we have some makeup to do, and obviously it's probably the last time the seniors, DeMarcus and I, play Gonzaga at home. It's the last time. So we have some show out to do.
And then quick turnaround on the road down to Moraga Saturday. You guys have proven you can win on the road. Do you think you can do it again this weekend?
Moraga's a tough place to play, and but I think I can do it, yeah.
All right, I like it. Senior night, it's about a month away. Talk about how quickly the last 4 years have gone, and maybe some of your best memories on the Bluff.
Actually, way too fast. Thinking about the last 4 years, it's been a blur, really. The highlights really were beating BYU here. That was pretty special. My freshman year, we beat the Gales in the first round of the tournament and then played BYU. San Diego last year, that upset win in the first round. There's been a couple memorable moments for me.
Me too. Thank you so much, Phil. Congrats on the records. Beat the Zags.
Yes.
Coming up next, we feature 4-year starter and 2-time conference goalkeeper of the year, Paul Christensen, who was selected by Atlanta United in the MLS draft. You're watching Portside of the Pilots on NBC Sports Northwest. Portland cross-country and track sophomore Allegra Vanderwald was selected as a 2018 Provost Initiative for Undergraduate Research recipient. The program is designed for faculty members to collaborate with undergraduate students as part of a larger picture of experiential learning that grants students funding for a hands-on research experience. Vanderwald will study the evaluation of shear stress in the developing coronary arteries with Laura Dyer in the biology department. Back in the spring of 2016, Vanderwald's sister Kaylee was the first ever University of Portland student athlete to win the exclusive award. Men's soccer goalkeeper Paul Christensen stopped everything in sight during his 4 years on the Bluff, and now he's taken his talents to the next level. The Woodinville, Washington native is the newest member of Atlanta United after the MLS club selected Christensen with the first pick in the 4th round of last week's Super Draft. There's a shot knocked away by Christensen.
Paul Christensen up to the task.
Probably around the 2006 World Cup, actually. It's the first time I remember really being serious about soccer and hoping to someday play pro. But then it kind of became a real thing for me, I guess, when I made the residency team and the opportunities that a lot of guys got there. I mean, it became kind of real through there, and then through college and everything. It's been something that I've been pushing for.
He was the best goalkeeper hands down in the league. But I think when you're speaking about Paul Christensen and what makes him so special, it goes beyond just a soccer player. Paul is a wonderful ambassador for the program. He's a great young man. He was also one of our captains for 2 years. Paul joins an elite company of other UP starters in goal, and we expect him to continue to have a great professional career at the next level.
I felt like I was ready from the start to be a 4-year starter. It's what I wanted to do when I was looking around at schools, and I wanted to go somewhere where I was going to make an impact on the team. I did have a lot of experience at club and at high level at club, so I was ready for the transition.
Into the 18, Christensen comes down with it.
I think when it fully clicked was probably last year. On the way to winning the WCC, it just felt like everything was going well and was kind of coming into their own in the position and everything, and it was a good fit with all the guys and everything, and just as a team it worked really well.
Turning, shooting, Christensen knocks it over the bar.
Paul definitely made the game easier. I felt really protected with him being back there, just with his communication, his leadership, and He made some amazing saves throughout the season, which helped us. And when he makes a big save, it gives you a boost of confidence so that we know, like, yeah, we're still in the game and can't be scored on.
From Bill, I learned so much and continued to learn a lot from him, just from talking to him and his experience with pretty much everything. As he's seen every play that could happen, he was able to reach out to people and help me and talk to Luis and connect to Luis. He's seen every play that could happen, so it was always in film, just going over the different ways we could have played something, and just the wealth of knowledge that he brought to it was incredible.
He was like another coach in the locker room. He did a great job with organizing the guys, but also giving us a really good example of what a University of Portland men's soccer player should aspire to be. He led by example every single day. He was respected in the community. He was a great student. He graduated in 3.5 years. Someone that I hold in the highest esteem with the highest values.
Service for me is a big thing, and giving back and taking advantage of the opportunity I have. I mean, it's a special position to be able to play college sports at all. But using the platform that you have to give back and to show people what your values are and who you are is really important to me. So I think just helping out those that I was able to help out was always important. I'll probably miss the friendships the most. Not often are you gonna get to hang out with your teammates so much and really get close to the guys as you are in college, so I think that's something that's really special, and it'll be difficult to leave that.
His grit and his determination, and I mean, I know he'll be great. He's made some huge saves for us over the season, and I know if he continues, to put his head down, he'll be a great player in the MLS.
Shot. Christensen is there.
He leaves the program as a champion. He leaves the program with an undergraduate degree, with honors, and he's going to do great things in the game, and then eventually, when the game stops, he'll have a great career after that as well in the business world.
Punched out by Christensen.
Just hope that when you look back at the team that's hopefully winning national championships down the road, that our legacy is that we were the ones that got it going in the right direction and everything.
Shot. Christensen is there.
Oh, Christensen with the save.
The Weimart Fan Photo Contest continues, and you have 2 chances this week to enter. At either the men's or women's home basketball games, simply pull out your cell phone and take a picture of yourself or your friends cheering on the Pilots. Then post that photo to Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook using the hashtag #PilotGameDay. A new winner is chosen every week right here on Portside, and the winner will receive a prize courtesy of Weimart. At the end of the basketball season, the weekly winners will be entered into a drawing for a grand prize, which are tickets to see the Miami Heat and UP alum Eric Spoelstra take on the Portland Trailblazers at the Moda Center on March 12th. This week's winner is Ann Flores. Ann Flores, congratulations and good luck in the grand prize drawing. The Portland men's tennis team will look to build on the program's first ever West Coast Conference title last spring with a core of key returners and a challenging 2018 schedule. Senior Mikhail Pervelarakis, the 2017 WCC Player of the Year, enters the spring season ranked number 18 nationally in singles. And the Pilots brought back the top 5 lineup players from last year's record-breaking team that finished 18-3 overall. Portland was invited to participate in the prestigious ITA kickoff weekend, and they'll travel to compete in the Wake Forest Regional this weekend. The Pilots will take on Vanderbilt on Friday, and then either Old Dominion or the number 1 ranked Demon Deacons on Saturday. WCC Coach of the Year Aaron Gross is excited about the opportunity for his veteran squad.
I think we're all just very excited to get everything going here now. We just lost a really, really close one to Georgia State, but I think we're excited for all the opportunities we have ahead of us. Since we did so well last year and we ended up winning conference, we got a lot of opportunities this year. So tomorrow we actually head down to North Carolina to play Vanderbilt. We're really looking forward to everything that's going to happen this season. So
I think the most important part is that we're all feeling healthy and we're ready to go. We had a tough match last weekend. But I think we're really excited going to the East Coast for the first time and playing against very good teams, potentially the #1 team in the nation right now. The most important is to compete because the season is long and we'll have some very good opportunities this year.
For 7 of us, this is going to be our last season. So we're really just trying to, cherish every moment that we have together, and we know how valuable these experiences are.
We enjoy every single day. We know next year we might not see each other that often. We really like each other, and we just enjoy it,
After traveling to Gonzaga on Thursday night, the women's basketball team is home on Saturday to host St. Mary's at 2 o'clock. Following the game, the team will hold its annual Father-Daughter Hoops Clinic. The clinic is free and it offers kids and their fathers or guardians a chance to play like the Pilots and participate in drills with the team and the Portland coaching staff. You're asked to pre-register for the clinic, which you can do by emailing Portland's marketing manager, Alex Fisher, at fishera@up.edu. The always popular Pilots Kids Dance Clinic is slated for February 3rd at the men's basketball game against LMU at the Child Center. The clinic starts at 11 a.m. and kids will learn a short dance routine to perform at halftime of the game. Participants can also cheer with the Pilots dance team on the sidelines during the game, which begins at 1 o'clock. To register, contact the Pilots box office at 503-943-7525 or visit portlandpilots.com/tickets. And this week's Nike Play of the Week takes us back to LMU, where late in the first half, Philip Hartwich elevated and threw it down. Phil's dunk, plus his efforts on the glass and defensively, helped the Pilots tame the Lions to notch the weekend sweep. Also, it was this week in Portland athletics history 4 years ago when the Pilots outlasted BYU 114-110 in triple overtime. Bobby Sharp absolutely went off for the Pilots, burying 8 three-pointers. Thomas Vandermars also had a huge game, pouring in 27 points to go along with 18 rebounds. It was the first ever win over BYU for the Pilots. The 114 points are the most ever scored against a D1 opponent, and it was only the second triple overtime game in program history. The Pilots will try to recapture that magic when they host Gonzaga tonight at 8 o'clock. And that does it for this week's Portside of the Pilots, but you can always reach out to us on social media by using the hashtag Portside. Good night, and we'll see you next week.